Shannon Sharpe says he's temporarily stepping down from his ESPN duties. He says all allegations against him are, quote, false and disruptive. Sharpe has denied all allegations. A representative for the plaintiff could not immediately be reached for comment.
Yeah, but did Shannon Sharpe and ESPN part ways mutually, or did he get fired? Because he was about to make $100 million, quote unquote, and all of a sudden this whole thing with the OnlyFans model takes place and the deal's off the table. So listen to what I'm saying and take it seriously. It is very difficult for men, especially as you get older. If you're single, you want to go out on the dating scene, you meet people, you might want that younger, beautiful girl in your mind. You think she doesn't have a lot of miles, quote unquote. At the end of the day, there is an age gap and there is an experience gap that I think hurts.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is officially my last day at work. After 7 years, the train stops for Shannon Sharpe and Undisputed right here. I just love everybody. I'm going to miss this. I'm going to miss this. I'm going to miss this. To the fans that made all this possible, you've embraced me and allowed me to become your favorite TV uncle. No matter, divorce court, child support, Lou Dort, Lakers in 5. OKC, KFC, UFC, Lakers in 5. You could say SGA, PGA, USA, Lakers in 5. It doesn't matter, tiebreakers, code breakers, windbreakers, Lakers. I'm just gonna sit back, enjoy my time, watch my team go. You know what? I think I'm gonna go to the game on Saturday night. I think I need to be there to cheer on old Luka, because he ain't seen me in attendance. So I might go just watch him his first game as a Laker, watch him go drop by 50.
To my family, friends, supporters, and colleagues, I want to speak to you directly and from the heart. This is a shakedown. I'm gonna be open, transparent, and defend myself because this isn't right. This is all being orchestrated by Tony Busby, who has targeted Jay-Z. Tony Busby targets black men, and I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip.
Shannon Sharpe's seat at ESPN might be heating up, and not in a good way. After weeks of headline-grabbing drama, lawsuits, and messy online fallout, rumors are swirling that the network could be ready to cut ties with the former NFL star. From courtrooms to controversy, is this the beginning of the end for Shannon's run at ESPN? Let's get into the tea because it's piping hot.
Molly, we're not going to tolerate that from Ocho. Devin, he need to be on time.
I'm on time. I'm here. What's up, baby?
That video should actually be 10 minutes or so. Hey, Tony, instead of releasing your edit, put the whole video out. I don't have it, or I would myself. You know what happened, and you're trying to manipulate the media.
I don't want to be, don't manipulate me.
Oh, Lord have mercy. If you say that one more time, I'm going to choke out of you when I see you.
Shannon's head to say, we can meet, we can settle this, or we can go forward into a trial, and then the video is going to come out. Now, Shannon has described the video much differently from what is saying. This is what he said when he actually challenged Busby to release it.
Tony Busby targets black men, and I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip of that tries to make me look guilty and play into every stereotype you could possibly imagine.
So here's the deal. Shannon Sharpe just dropped a major bombshell. He's stepping away from ESPN for a while. Why? Because he's now facing some serious allegations, including battery and more. A lawsuit was filed last week by a woman who chose to stay anonymous, and Shannon has strongly denied everything.
Violated the rights of the plaintiff who has proceeded under the name Jane Doe, but unlike the Deshaun Watson cases where there were 20 plus plaintiffs and they weren't really sure who the people were who were making the claims, in this case Shannon Sharpe knows exactly who it is.
Right now, he's one of the main faces on ESPN's First Take, but in a recent statement, he said he's taking time off to focus on his family and to deal with what he called false and disruptive claims. He also mentioned he's planning to come back before the NFL preseason kicks off. After Shannon made that announcement, ESPN responded by saying they agree with his decision to take a step back, and they're treating the situation very seriously. Now here's where it gets even messier. His legal team says the lawsuit is just a money grab, claiming the woman is trying to shake him down for millions. But the woman listed as Jane Doe says something very different. According to the lawsuit filed in Las Vegas, she says she had a relationship with Shannon that started when she was just 20 years old, and that over nearly 2 years, he manipulated and controlled her.
Put the whole video out. I don't have it, or I would myself. You know what happened, and you're trying to manipulate the media.
What's interesting is Tony and his client have never made any sort of mention to this video. Shannon Sharpe and his attorney and his attorney's team are the only ones who have talked about this. So Tony actually made reference in this to that fact when we talked to him last night about all this. He said Sharpe's team is the only ones that disclosed that, not us. So I don't really know what to make of that. If Sharpe's team is the only one speaking about this video and Busby isn't.
She's accusing him of horrifying acts, including forced and harsh, saying it happened in both October 2024 and January of this year. The lawsuit paints a disturbing picture, describing threats, maltreatment, and ignoring her pleas for him to stop. When reporters asked if she ever went to the police, her lawyer, Tony Busby, said he couldn't comment. But he did say this: going up against someone with fame, money, and influence takes real courage, and they're ready to take this to court.
To my family, friends, supporters, and colleagues, I want to speak to you directly and from the heart. This is a shakedown. I'm going to be open, transparent, and defend myself because this isn't right. This is all being orchestrated by Tony Busby, who has targeted Jay-Z. Tony Busby targets black men, and I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip that tries to make me look guilty and play into every stereotype you could possibly imagine. That video should actually be 10 minutes or so. Hey Tony, instead of releasing your edit, put the whole video out. I don't have it, or I would myself. You know what happened, and you're trying to manipulate the media. The encounter in question took place during the day at her invitation, and now that appears to be a deliberate setup, coordinated by Gabby, also known as Carly on OnlyFans. Gabby and Tony Busby want $50 million. What they're getting is sued for defamation and trying to take me down. My career is all about real talk and honesty. I know my family and fans know exactly what this is about. And I'm going to be out there telling you whatever I need to say, just like I always do. I love all of you.
On the flip side, Shannon's lawyer, Lanny Davis, claims the relationship was fully consensual, and that in many cases, it was she who initiated things, even making graphic requests. He says Shannon is ready to clear his name and let the facts speak for themselves. This lawsuit, it's not small. Jane Doe is coming after Shannon Sharpe for over $50 million in compensatory and punitive damages. Now, before all this chaos, let's not forget who Shannon Sharpe was to the sports world. A legend, drafted by the Denver Broncos in 1990, retired in 2003, and got inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 2011. He held records for catches, yards, and touchdowns as a tight end, but now his legacy might be on the chopping block.
Did Shannon Sharpe and ESPN part ways mutually, or did he get fired? Because he was about to make $100 million, quote unquote, and all of a sudden this whole thing with the OnlyFans model takes place and the deal's off the table. So listen to what I'm saying and take it seriously. It is very difficult for men, especially as you get older, if you're single. You want to go out on the dating scene, you meet people, you might want that younger, beautiful girl in your mind. You think she doesn't have a lot of miles, quote unquote. At the end of the day, there is an age gap and there is an experience gap that I think hurts the relationship and sometimes looks a little creepy to some people. And all I'm saying is I'm not knocking Shannon Sharpe. He's done wonderful things with ESPN, great things with Nightcap, but even more as a media personality, he's been phenomenal. But the reality comes to this. You're 56 years old. The girl's 19 years old. Were you set up? Maybe. But the principal point comes down to morals and ethics. A lot of people are looking at it and nobody can judge anybody. It's legal. She's 19 years old. But you met a girl in the gym. This takes place. And now people start looking.
So what really went down? People are pointing fingers at a 54-year-old man getting involved with a 19-year-old OnlyFans model, calling it flat out disturbing. The internet is saying what some are too afraid to admit: this ain't just messy, it's predatory. The type of scandal that only gets exposed when someone stops following the rules the elites set.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is officially my last day at work. After 7 years, the train stops for Shannon Sharpe and Undisputed right here. I just love everybody. I'm gonna miss this. I'm gonna miss this. I'm gonna miss this. To the fans that made all this possible, you've embraced me and allowed me to become your favorite TV uncle. And for that, I'm forever grateful. And last but not least, Skip Bayless. You fought for me, bro.
Did I?
I'm here because of you. You've allowed me to share the stage with you. You've allowed me to share the platform. I'm gonna cry in the car, but I'm not gonna cry now. The opportunity that you gave me to become what I became, I'm forever indebted to you. I'll never forget what you did for me. You've helped me grow more than you ever know. All I ask is when you lay your head on that pillow at night, you know I gave you everything I had.
You did.
I gave you everything I had.
Which is why I want to thank you.
Let's rewind to April 20th. A major bombshell dropped. An anonymous woman calling herself Jane Doe filed a massive lawsuit in Nevada against Shannon Sharpe. She claims he mistreated her repeatedly throughout a relationship that supposedly started after they met at a gym in Los Angeles back in 2023. And here's the twist that has everyone talking. The lawyer representing Jane Doe, it's Tony Busby, the same attorney who's been going after Diddy in those high-profile lawsuits involving dozens of John and Jane Does. Now his new target is Shannon Sharpe.
Will engender more to come and give more people courage to speak out against a very powerful celebrity.
Sure, I love that point, Dave. And it made me wonder initially when I saw the lawyer that filed it, I had to wonder, did she see what's been in the news with Diddy and Jay-Z? You know, how did she find Tony Busby? Really curious about that, and if that will affect her case one way or the other. As we know, he and Jay-Z got into it recently.
This was a centerpiece of the negotiation before the lawsuit was filed.
Right.
I mean, I think that's the one thing that's clear, right?
Yes,
for sure. And it still remains at the center because it certainly sounds like, regardless of how Shannon describes it or the accuser describes it, for Shannon Sharpe and his career, it's probably not advantageous for it to come out.
Right. The lawsuit says things started off normal. At first, it looked like a mutual relationship, but then things took a disturbing turn. Jane says she was only 19 when she met Shannon, who was 54 at the time, and he chased her hard until she finally said yes to dating. But once they got close, it allegedly turned dark. According to her, Shannon started controlling her, treating her like a possession, and doing things that were way past toxic. She says he choked her, made threats on her life, and even recorded their private moments without her knowing. And it doesn't stop there. Jane claims he said some truly twisted things, like wanting to do stuff to her that would make no other man want her.
We're living in a simulation because the foreshadowing, it's a little insane.
Reports of somebody that he met in 2023, who was 19 years old at that particular moment in time.
You're trying to hang out with these young you can't do it, Shannon. You just can't do it.
Gabby and Tony Busby want $50 million. What they're getting is sued for defamation and trying to take me.
Now this is where things get even darker. According to Jane, Shannon somehow got into her apartment building without her permission, and without her even knowing he was there. She says there was one moment where everything just exploded. Shannon allegedly lost it. During the entire encounter, she says she noticed a firearm nearby. That's when fear really kicked in. So she tried to share her location with her friends using her iPhone. But Shannon caught her. Jane says he grabbed her neck and warned her, telling her, "If you ever do that again, I will effing end you." After that terrifying moment, Jane says she tried to cut ties with him, and things got even more awkward when Shannon slipped up during an Instagram Live in September, accidentally showing another woman, Michelle, on camera. That moment went viral fast. But even after that, Jane says Shannon still wouldn't leave her alone. On October 6, 2024, she claims he forced her to do something against her will, holding her down while she cried. And according to her, that wasn't the end of it. She says it happened again later, and then again in January 2025. In her lawsuit, Jane doesn't just accuse him of battery, she paints a much bigger picture. She calls Shannon a narcissist who's used his platform and fame to manipulate, silence, and mistreat women. And now she says enough is enough. She's calling for a full jury trial and asking for $50 million in damages.
Gabby and Tony Busby want $50 million. What they're getting is sued for defamation and trying to take me down.
Sharpe is essentially calling this an extortion attempt on the part of Tony Busby. Sharpe is imploring him to release the entire thing rather than just a 30-second cut. That makes sense. Sharpe doesn't have the full 10-minute tape himself, and it sounds like it's only in possession of the Busby camp, so I would not anticipate that full tape getting released. All I can say in this scenario is I think we get into very strange territory if a 30-second clip from performance could make you look guilty. Sharpe's lawyer, Lanny J. Davis, also released a statement. Davis called the lawsuit a blatant and cynical attempt to shake down Sharpe for millions of dollars, and called the claims lies, distortions, and misrepresentations. As tape in question, Davis called it a secretly recorded video of a consensual
After the lawsuit hit the news, Shannon didn't stay silent. His lawyer, Lanny Davis, quickly released a statement on social media. And in that post, Shannon revealed Jane Doe's real name, Gabriella Zuniga. She's not exactly unknown online. In fact, she's pretty active on OnlyFans and IG, where she goes by the name She Is Carly. But it didn't stop there. Shannon came in swinging. He not only denied everything, but he also tried to defend himself by posting alleged texts from Zuniga. And those messages? Wild. One of them reportedly had her saying she wanted him to put a big black baby in her, and another where she said he better crave it, because he'd be stuck with it for life. The internet, though, wasn't buying it. If anything, those messages just made things worse. People were already uncomfortable with him dating someone so young. But when they saw the racial kink stuff, the backlash went into overdrive. Meanwhile, Shannon's legal team kept doubling down. They said the whole thing was a sham, just a money grab. They claimed Zuniga was twisting the truth, and they warned that her lawyer, Tony Busby, was even planning to release a video of Shannon and Zuniga together, trying to reframe a consensual moment as something criminal. As for Shannon, he's trying hard to take control of the narrative. He says everything that happened between them was consensual, adult, and included role-playing, fantasies that Zuniga supposedly asked for.
It will never be allowed in court his defense that Tony Busby, the lawyer here, is a racist and targets black men. That's not going to come into court, but he's trying to influence the court of public opinion. The problem for Shannon Sharpe is if other women come forward, just like in the Diddy situation, and corroborate the claim with something similar. And we now have reports that there is another ex-girlfriend who had filed a rape accusation against Shannon Sharpe a couple years prior. And so that's the type of thing you want to avoid from his sake, from his camp. But right now, you're innocent until proven guilty. We don't know, as Kevin said, if this is just a shakedown. The evidence will continue to come out, but that's the thing he has to worry about the most. That
Shannon's lawyer came in hot, straight up denying all the allegations. He said there was no coercion, no misconduct, and that the whole lawsuit was just an obvious case of blackmail. As for the accusation, Shannon said that was a disgusting lie, and he wasn't about to let it slide. They also pointed to the audio clips Jane Doe released, saying those were edited to make Shannon look like the bad guy. Now let's talk about those clips, because they were messy. You can hear Shannon sounding frustrated with Zuniga, saying things like, "Anything I say, you're going to just get mad and hang up on me." Then, the argument keeps building. And then he drops the line, "Lord have mercy, if you say that one more time, I'm going to choke the life out of you when I see you."
Anything I say, you're just gonna get mad at, and you're just gonna hang up on me. So I feel like
I'm not gonna hang up on you. Here's what it is.
what? What does that even mean?
Nothing, Gabby. You want to be a dick to me now, so.
I don't want to be. Don't manipulate me.
Oh, Lord have mercy. If you say that one more time, I'm gonna choke the out of you when I see you. Thank you.
Well, I don't want to be choked.
Yes, you do. I don't think you have a choice in the matter.
She tells him she doesn't want to be choked, but Shannon reportedly says she doesn't have a choice. Trying to flip the script, Shannon posted a video of his own calling the whole thing a shakedown. He put Tony Busby on blast, accusing him of having a habit of going after black men. Shannon even dragged up Busby's failed case against Jay-Z as an example. And Shannon wasn't holding back. He spoke directly to his fans, his family, and everyone watching. He said he was going to fight this publicly, and that Busby was probably going to drop a heavily edited 30-second video to smear his name. But Shannon insisted the real clip was closer to 10 minutes long and told a whole different story.
To my family, friends, supporters, and colleagues, I want to speak to you directly and from the heart. This is a shakedown. I'm going to be open.
In that same video, Shannon challenged Busby to just release the full thing. He admitted he didn't even have a copy himself, but he believed the truth would eventually come out. Shannon also claimed that the encounter in question happened during the day, and that it was something Zuniga invited him to. In his words, it all sounded like a setup. He said Gabby, aka Carly, and Busby were after $50 million, but instead, they were about to catch a defamation lawsuit from him. Shannon ended that video saying his entire career was built on honesty and keeping it real. And he promised that no matter what, he was going to keep speaking up and telling his side of the story. But just when it felt like the drama hit max level, it got worse. Turns out Shannon's own lawyer had to admit something major. Earlier this year, Shannon offered Gabriella Zuniga at least $10 million to make this all go away. Yep, while Shannon was out here publicly calling her a liar, behind the scenes he was ready to drop a massive bag just to keep her quiet. And fans caught on quick. They started asking the obvious question. If he's truly innocent, why not file a defamation suit right away? Why offer hush money? Of course, Tony Busby didn't stay quiet. He fired back hard. He said Shannon's move only confirmed one thing. He was scared. And Zuniga probably had real receipts. Busby even took to IG, calling out Shannon's team for claiming the case was baseless, while also admitting they offered $10 million in writing to settle things privately. And here's the wild part. Jane Doe turned it down. She said no thanks and chose to face him in court instead.
The lawyer says, Shannon, there's a 10% chance of this happening, of the victory against you, of you losing. 10% of 50 million is $5 million. That means the value of the lawsuit is $5 million. But the legal fees are going to be $8 million, no matter what. If you have no liability or if you're found liable for 50 million, you're going to pay me $8 million. That's a total of $13 million. That's when you go to the other side and you say, I'll give you 10. That doesn't mean I did it. Doesn't mean I didn't do it. It's called a nuisance settlement amount, and it's discovered through a simple math equation based on probability. And that's all it does.
But hold up. This lawsuit drama isn't the only storm Shannon's been caught up in lately. A few weeks back, social media lit up after Shannon was seen courtside at multiple Lakers games. Not alone, but with Russell Hollywood Simpson. Now here's where it gets messy. Hollywood isn't just a celebrity stylist. He's openly gay and allegedly the ex of former NFL player Kerry Rhodes. So yeah, the internet didn't miss a beat. Shannon and Hollywood weren't just spotted once. They were showing up side by side at every big event, and they looked real close. Not just client and stylist close. We're talking tight.
50 and she was 19.
56, 54.
54 and she was 19 years old.
So listen, and crafted to falsely portray a consensual act as non-consensual. So yes, whatever they were doing at the time, according to Shannon Sharpe, it was consensual, but she's looking at it a different way.
But that's not against the law because she was of age. So even though she was 19, that's not against the law.
Naturally, the rumors started flying again. People online began whispering about Shannon being on the down low. And if you've been around, you know those rumors have followed him for years. One commentator even threw some shade, saying that confident straight men usually don't feel the need to constantly defend their gender preference. But Shannon, he always seems a little too pressed when people bring it up. Then out of nowhere, Mike Epps jumped in. Apparently, Shannon had invited Mike to do an episode of Club Shay Shay. But Mike turned it down, and he wasn't exactly polite about it. Word is, Mike told Shannon something like, no, I'm not pulling up so you can sit across from me and look at my balls while I'm sitting down. That had fans side-eyeing both of them. What was Mike really trying to say? And while most celebrities just ignore gay rumors, Shannon does the opposite. He doesn't stay calm, he claps back hard. On his Nightcap podcast with Chad Johnson, Shannon snapped. He straight up said that if Mike brought his name up again, he'd leak the DMs.
And I got upset about, and he told a story. Shannon Sharpe did not DM me to come on the show. I DM'd him.
I'm not gonna lie. I did DM you to get on the show.
So we going back and forth in the DM. He says, bro, let's just have fun with this. I said, F no. I said, tell me the fun with you lying on me, saying I'm gay, saying I cross-dress and I look like
Shay Shay. I don't know what grown ass man got a name named Shay Shay, but and Shay Shay, you did look like Medea sitting there. You
Shit is called Shay Shay. The nigga's telling you. Put a wig on that nigga, tell me if that your sister.
Medea. Tell me where's the fun for that for me. I get it for you. You get the key. You get the.
Shannon said Mike was lying and added that he didn't actually care if people called him gay, but he wasn't about to let lies slide. He warned, say my name again and I'm going to release the DMs. He also threw shade at Mike for allegedly being bitter after Cat Williams' viral takedown, hinting that Mike was just clout chasing and trying to stay relevant.
Did you set
The thing is, Dion, what I don't get people's like, well, you did that for clout. So you really tell me I'm willing to risk my good name, my reputation.
Thank you.
I work for Disney.
Yeah.
Disney.
Mm-hmm.
Risk that, my reputation,
Right.
embarrass my family, and all the potential monetary ramifications that comes along with it. For what?
No, I get it. And I'm just saying, people were saying that they was out there like, maybe he did that because they was like, he was trying to sell product, or that he was trying to tell people, trying to prove that he wasn't.
Just the one thing I know about people. Once they've made their mind up on something, you're not getting them off that.
But here's the thing. The more Shannon lashes out, the louder the internet side-eyes him. For someone who doesn't care, he sure acts like someone who really cares. And the whole stylist situation just made things worse. When your starts dropping subtle hints about secrets and getting blackballed, yeah, the tea is officially boiling over. Shannon tried to spin it like he was just setting boundaries, but fans weren't buying it. His reaction didn't scream, "I'm unbothered." It screamed damage control. So what did he do next? He cut Hollywood off completely. Yep, fired him. And not in a classy way either. Instead of keeping it quiet, Shannon went into full cleanup mode. He tried to act like Hollywood never had a hand in his style at all. He even started telling people that the real fashion mastermind was his longtime stylist, Shelly Davis, the one who's been dressing him for over 20 years. To Shannon, this was him taking back control. But to the internet, it looked like he was trying to rewrite history fast. At that point, fans weren't clueless anymore. They saw right through it. Shannon wasn't just changing stylists. He was trying to shut down the rumors, the whispers, all of it. He made a public statement saying, yeah, Hollywood used to style for him, but he emphasized that Hollywood being gay was his life, not mine. He also claimed that his decision to cut ties wasn't shady. It was about loyalty. Loyalty to Shelly Davis, his OG stylist. According to Shannon, Shelly felt hurt after being pushed aside, especially when people started praising looks that she had originally created.
He was gay. Okay, that's his life. That's not mine. Hollywood no longer styles me. Why? Because I'm loyal to Shelly. She was hurt that after 20 plus years of being my stylist, that I had gone outside to hire someone else. And someone else was getting the credit when she was there at CBS. She was there when I started at Fox. She was there when I was going out and doing red carpet events. And I never had a problem. And for me, in my head, I thought I needed someone outside.
Right.
I didn't buy one thing new when Hollywood started styling me. Everything, all those LV jackets, all that stuff that I already had it. And a lot of the stuff she had already put together, but I took it apart. So when he put it back together, it was just what she had put together.
Shannon said she'd been there for everything. His CBS days, the move to Fox, every red carpet moment. And get this, when Hollywood started styling him, Shannon says he didn't even buy anything new. All those fire outfits, allegedly, they were already in his closet, stuff Shelly had styled long before. He said Hollywood just brought them back with a twist. Shannon even told Hollywood straight up, "You did an amazing job, but I'm going back to Shelly because it's hurting her." And let's be real, that probably didn't set well with Hollywood. Shannon might have thought that that was the end of it. Clean break, rumor silenced, case closed. Yeah, not even close.
Shannon Sharpe made a business decision that, you know what, I'm going to front and center my gay stylist, Hollywood Simpson. I'm going to front and center a gay stylist who has been connected to publicly with several former professional football players. Why do I call that a business decision? Because anyone familiar with how Hollywood and the entertainment industry works, anyone who has wet their finger and stuck it in the air and figured out how corporate culture works in America over the past decade, knew that the wind is blowing in the direction of everybody who calls themselves an ally of the LGBTQ.
Hollywood wasn't just about to walk away quietly. He started fighting back, and he came with receipts, behind-the-scenes clips, proof of just how hands-on he was in Shannon's style glow-up. In one clip, Shannon can literally be heard hyping him up saying, "I don't know what's in this box. I'm not gonna open it until Hollywood gets here, but whatever it is, I already know he's gonna make me look fly in it. I got the best stylist in the world." Not just in the United States, the whole world. Out of 8 billion people, I got number 1. Nobody can stop us. Shay Sharpe and Hollywood, a dynamic duo that can't be stopped. Run tell dad. And then Hollywood dropped another clip on IG with a caption that raised major eyebrows. It said, "Let's be clear. This dude right here be ending the game. I be watching you. We ending the game. Hollywood, you straight slayin'." Tell me, when was the last time someone hyped up their stylist like that? Fans weren't just sipping the tea at that point, they were gulping.
Hollywood, when I got Hollywood, I flew you out the next day and you said, I want to dress my age. Hollywood said, Uncle Shay, you called me Uncle Shay from day one. You said, what else you need from me? I said, I need loyalty and I need honor.
The internet started piecing things together. Shannon used to talk about Hollywood like he was the MVP. Always showing love, giving him props. But suddenly, it was like Shannon wanted to delete that entire chapter, like it never happened. Why? Simple. The rumors were spreading, and Shannon looked like he was scrambling to protect his image. So what did he do next? He pulled off one of the wildest stunts the internet had seen in a while. On September 11, 2024, Shannon accidentally went live on Instagram. And let's just say what people heard during that stream? Well, it was personal, real personal. There was no video, but the audio? Let's just say it didn't sound like something you'd want out there if you were fighting off rumors. It felt a little too convenient.
What you gonna do with this?
So now the question is, was all this an accident? Or was it Shannon trying to prove something or cover something up? Either way, we want to know. What do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Hit that like button, smash that subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss another messy chapter in this saga. Because this tea, it's still boiling.